Imagine it's the end of the month. You're sitting at your desk, opening your wallet or checking your banking app, and suddenly you realize your balance is almost gone. But wait, it's only been 3 weeks since your paycheck came in. Where did it all go? You try to recall. Some was spent on nights out with friends, some on impulsive online shopping, some on subscription apps you barely use. And the rest? You can't even remember. It feels like your money just evaporated. This situation isn't unique to you. Millions of people around the world feel exactly the same way. They work hard, they get their monthly paycheck, and yet somehow they still end up broke before the month ends. The problem isn't always that their income is too small, it's that their expenses are never really under control. Which leads to an important question. How do we change this? How do we stop money from silently slipping through our fingers? In 2025, the answer is far simpler than it used to be. Years ago, people had to manually jot down every expense in notebooks or carefully build spreadsheets in Excel. Some were disciplined enough to do it, but most gave up after a few weeks. Now, things are different. We have tools that can do this heavy lifting for us. Tools that live in our pockets, right on our smartphones. Tools that we call budgeting apps. Smart applications designed to help anyone, especially beginners, take control of their finances with ease, speed, and even a bit of fun. So let's explore how these apps work, why they're game changers, and how they can transform your financial journey. Take the story of a young man named Ryan. Fresh out of college, he landed his first job with what he thought was a decent salary. But month after month, the same thing happened. The money came in and vanished. When friends asked, "Where does your money go?" he could only shrug and say, "I don't know, it just disappears." Frustration grew. He wanted to save, build an emergency fund, maybe even invest. But with his paycheck slipping through his fingers, those dreams seemed impossible. One day, Ryan heard a friend mention budgeting apps. At first, he was skeptical. Apps? Aren't they just more hassle? Digital notebooks I'll stop using after a week? But desperation pushed him to try. He downloaded a popular app built around the 50-30-20 rule. The moment his paycheck landed, the app automatically categorized it. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, 20% for savings and investments. For the very first time, Ryan saw a clear picture of his finances. A colorful chart appeared on his screen: green for needs, blue for wants, yellow for savings and investments. And then the truth hit him. His wants category was eating up nearly 45% of his income. Coffee runs, dinners out, impulse buys, they were draining him. That single insight was a wake-up call. From then on, he cut back on late-night food deliveries, paused unnecessary subscriptions, and redirected more money to savings. Within just 2 months, Ryan was stunned to see several $100s safely tucked away, something that once felt completely out of reach. But his journey didn't stop there. Curious, Ryan tried another app, this one built around zero-based budgeting. Unlike the 50-30-20 rule, zero-based budgeting doesn't allow for extra money with no purpose. Every single dollar must have a job. So, if Ryan earned $2,000, he had to assign every bit of it, some to rent, some to groceries, some to transportation, some to entertainment, and some to savings. The result? He felt in control. No more vague sense of where did my money go. Every dollar was accounted for right from day one. What amazed him even more were the AI-powered features these 2025 apps now offer. One day, a notification popped up. "Hey Ryan, you've ordered food delivery 3 times this week. If you cut back by just 2 orders per week, you'd save $60 a month. That's $720 a year, enough for a new laptop or a short vacation." Suddenly, saving wasn't just about abstract numbers. It was tied to real-life goals he cared about. The app wasn't nagging, it was coaching. And that changed everything. Some apps took it even further with the digital envelope system. Remember how older generations used to stuff cash into physical envelopes? One for rent, one for groceries, one for utilities. Now, apps recreate that system virtually. Ryan created digital envelopes: groceries, rent, fun, savings. When he spent too much on entertainment, the app simply told him, "This envelope is empty. No more spending here." It was simple, but powerful. That visual of an empty envelope curbed his impulse spending better than guilt ever could. And then came gamification. Believe it or not, some apps made saving money feel like playing a game. There were challenges, levels, and digital badges. A 7-day no-spend challenge popped up, and when Ryan completed it, he unlocked a badge. It was silly, but it worked. Suddenly, resisting temptation wasn't punishment. It was progress. Each little achievement stacked up, giving him a sense of accomplishment. Slowly, saving became a habit, not a chore. The results spoke for themselves. Just a few months earlier, Ryan was broke by week 3 of every month. Now, he was consistently putting aside $200 to $300 each month. Within 3 months, he had built his first $1,000 savings. That number might not sound huge to everyone, but to him, it was life-changing. That $1,000 meant peace of mind. When his motorcycle needed a major repair, he didn't panic. When an investment opportunity appeared, he could finally say yes. Most importantly, he could sleep at night knowing he wasn't one paycheck away from disaster. Ryan's story reveals an important truth. It's not about which app is the best. Different people need different systems. Some thrive with the simplicity of 50-30-20. Others want the rigor of zero-based budgeting. Some love the visual control of digital envelopes. Others stay motivated with gamification. The best app is simply the one you'll actually use consistently. And Ryan isn't alone. There's Sarah, an office worker who realized she was spending nearly $100 a month on daily coffee runs. Her app showed her the brutal math, and she switched to making coffee at home. In 3 months, she had $300 saved. There's Alex, a college student who used an app to separate his allowance into food and fun envelopes, finally making sure he didn't blow his lunch money on movie tickets. And then there's David and his wife, who started using a joint budgeting app. By setting up shared digital envelopes, they not only saved more, but also strengthened their teamwork as a couple. Each story is different, but the lesson is the same. Budgeting apps aren't just tools. They're like mirrors, reflecting the truth of your spending. They're like assistants, offering timely reminders. They're like coaches, challenging you to do better. And in many ways, they become accountability partners you carry around in your pocket. In the end, managing money is not just about numbers. It's about habits. And with the right budgeting app, even beginners can start building those habits. They can save hundreds, then thousands, and slowly step closer to financial freedom. So, if you're tired of always running out of money before the month ends, if you're constantly asking yourself, where did my paycheck go? Or if you've been wanting to start saving but don't know where to begin, then the answer might already be in your pocket. Download a budgeting app, pick the style that fits your life, and start today. Remember, your first $1,000 isn't the end. It's just the beginning of something much bigger. It's the foundation of an emergency fund, the seed of an investment, and the source of peace of mind. And if you want to keep learning practical, simple strategies for managing your money, strategies you can actually use in your daily life, make sure you subscribe to this channel, turn on your notifications, and share this video with your friends. The more people learn to manage money, the stronger we'll all be in facing the future. Start small. One click, one note, one habit. That's where financial freedom begins.